Hello, this is Random Palk, and today we're reviewing the 3D Battle of the World runner made by Square. Square was really famous at the time for making badass RPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff. But today we're playing another game which is completely different than that. As you can tell by the title, it's a really interesting game with a 3D aspect. That for NES it was rare to see a 3D aspect game, unless you were playing games like, what was that track game? There was that track game, the Olympics one with some pad. But yeah, 3D aspect games were very rare at the time. Yeah, it's a simplistic, almost arcade style game. Was actually pretty good graphics, and oh yeah, those balloons are a bonus stage, but I apparently missed that one. But yeah, as you're running through it, you collect the stars, which I don't know what the stars actually do. But once you get to a certain point, you'll move to the next world, and at the end of each world is a boss. But yeah, these balloons take you to a bonus stage. Which the bonus stage, you're trying to collect these stars, which, like I said, I don't know what the stars actually do, but the bonus stages are really short. Oh yeah, the music and graphics and everything on this game are really good for the NES. And yeah, it's a basic, simplistic game, and every time you make it to a new area, it recharges your energy. But yeah, you're just running and dodging obstacles. Yeah, it's a fun game. I was focusing on what to say and I got my ass killed. Well, yeah, if you want an interesting challenge, this is actually not a bad game. Yeah, every time... God damn it. I need to focus instead of trying to... Well, anyway. Instead of fucking... I forgot what I was going to say. I apologize. But yeah, it's a challenging game, and it's very difficult. You gotta learn to time your jumping properly, and every time you get to a certain stage, there's a boss fight you have to battle. But I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the boss fight on this first attempt, because I was fucking up too much. But yeah, it's a simplistic game, but it's incredibly challenging, but also fun. And yeah, the graphics, music, and everything are really well done for the NES. But yeah, the 3D aspects on this game are also really well done. But yeah, I started fucking up there at the end. The enemies are weird though, like these green blobs. And yeah, this game is kind of weird, but it's actually really good. If you like arcade style games, this game is really challenging. And like I was saying, you gotta really judge the jumps, because the jumps are easily fucked up, especially when there are a lot of jumps in a row. Well, yeah, the background and everything else on this game, yeah, it's all really well done. I still don't know what happens if you collect enough stars. I'm assuming a 1-up. But it's kind of jump short. That was my fuck up. I jumped short. That was my fuck up. I know, I jumped over the bonus stage. That was probably a mistake. Jump short again. This game is actually incredibly hard, because the timing on the jumps, especially when the jumps are fucking so quick after each other. Yeah, the timing on the jumps is the biggest issue. You gotta be really careful about the timing on the jumps. But sometimes when you're jumping, sometimes when you're doing the jumps, if you hold to the side while you're jumping, you can kind of slow down the jump, which is very helpful, especially when you have a whole bunch of jumps in a row. Let's try it at least one more time. I'm sorry. Trying to think of stuff to say is interfering with my concentration. I apologize. I was doing a lot better at this earlier when I was God damn it. At least let me get to the first boss. God damn. Earlier I was playing this game, I was making it all sorts of stages, but I'm doing horrible right now. But yeah, one of the strategies where you're jumping far is to kind of angle your jump, to slow down your jump. That way you can kind of partially control your jump. I missed that again. But yeah, this game is incredibly tough, but it's a good challenge game. If you just wanted to look for a game that was challenging, this is definitely a good choice. Why am I missing all the stars now? Fuck it. Let's just focus on making it to the first boss. Yeah, we just gotta focus on making it to at least the first boss. We're almost to the first boss. Just gotta hang in there. And yeah, there are no continues. This game has... There we go, the first boss. When you get to the first boss, you notice it turns into a shooter game when you get to the first boss. Trying to concentrate. I'm trying to concentrate. But yeah, when you get to the first boss, he knows it turns into kind of a shooter game, which is actually interesting that there's a little bit of variety, not just jumping over pits. But now we're in stage 2, and each stage has different enemies and different difficulty of the jumping of pits. But overall, it's a classic that's interesting and fun to play. And if you're an NES fan, this game is definitely a good challenge. Yeah, in this stage, those stars are just laying around, so you want to grab them if you can. And yeah, knowing when to do the long jumps and the short jumps are pretty much key to this game. And yeah, every time you die, you get to see the boss of the stage you died on. Like, that boss of that stage is some robotic dragon thing. But, like I said, I don't know exactly what the stars do. But, oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's also a 3D aspect to this game. That's why it's called 3D World Jumper. Because there's a 3D aspect where you can make it 3D mode. There were only a few games on the NES that involved the 3D mode. One of them was Rad Racer, which I haven't done a video on yet. But yeah, the 3D mode is kind of disorienting if you don't have the 3D glasses. But just for the sake of the video, let's continue this run on 3D mode just for the fuck of it. Why the fuck not? Let's finish this run on 3D mode and see what happens. Makes it even harder to grab the stars, which makes sense. Yeah, if you short jump to grab that star, you're going to die. Anyway, that's enough of 3D mode. Well, yeah, it's a simplistic challenge game. It's a simplistic challenge game, but it's actually pretty fun. I missed that one. Yeah, I got 24 stars. We'll see if I can hold on to them. But when you leave the bonus stage, you can kind of control where you land, so that's helpful. But yeah, like I said, it's a challenging but fun game. And yeah, there are several bonus stages that you can get in the first level. That was close. And yeah, you get to a point where you have to start jumping frequently to dodge the fucking enemies. Got him. Yeah, the stars are just extra bonus points, apparently. Now, I guess you get enough points, you get a 1-up. So yeah, the stars are extra bonus points. But anyway, a great game for the NES. Definitely fun. Definitely a challenge. Like I said, controlling the long jumps and the short jumps are key on this game. But we have one... never mind, I was about to say we had one health left, so we're going to see if we can make it, but nope. But yeah, great game. Made by Square, which is famous for making games like Final Fantasy. But this is actually not a bad game. Has a unique 3D perspective, which was rare for the NES. The graphics and shit are pretty good, like the lightning strikes in the background revealing terrain and shit. Overall, a decent game for the NES and worth checking out. Well, I'm going to end this video here. I know it's a short video, but there's not really much else to say about the game. Fun to play, challenging, and definitely worth checking out. So, if you like my videos, please follow and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. So, until then, take it easy and have a good night. Take it easy.